So I'm here, actually just a door down from my hotel. And I didn't know this building was here until I happened to see the sign on it, the Department of Education building. If we turn left, that overhang right there, let's see if I can put it, that overhang right there is the front door to my building, to my hotel. And just two or three doors down the way there is the Quiznos, where I ate twice today, or last night and today. Smithsonian, for reference, is over there, just one block. And it's been interesting as I've been here because there's been three different Washington DCs that I've encountered. As I was coming in, I was driving through residential areas that were relatively small. I'm going to flip the camera around here, have you look at me. I was driving through residential areas that were very tight, very narrow streets, lots of cars parked on the side. I was in a little compact car, and yet it still felt tight and like, I need to be careful not to hit anything. And very grateful for my phone that was giving me directions, because I didn't have a map. Thank you for that, by the way. And I didn't actually realize I was in DC. I just thought I was in suburban Baltimore, Washington, DC, until I saw a sign on some park somewhere that said, such and such a regulation, District of Columbia code. And I realized, oh, I've crossed into DC. And it got tighter and tighter and more uncomfortable for me. I was like, I don't know if I want to walk around at night here. I don't know if I'm going to feel comfortable parking here. And then I was about 1.5 miles from the hotel, and it just opened up. It was like we went around a corner, and suddenly somebody had flipped a switch, and we weren't in that tight residential neighborhood anymore. We were in this grand open parkland with the neoclassical architecture like you classically think of in DC, with the Roman columns and sorts of decorative things. The Air and Space Museum had a little bit of that. There's parts of it. But then there's the third DC, when I finally got to my hotel and I saw the Department of Education here, and there's the modernist, regulated brutalist. I think brutalist is actually the technical term for this. I don't mean it as an attack, but that building, that kind of encapsulates the federal government mindset of like, how are we going to handle education? Well, let's make this gigantic where everything's the same. All the shapes are the same, all the sizes are the same. There's no decorations you can hardly see. There's no beauty to it, there's just efficiency. And so it was very interesting to go back and forth between those three places, the tighter residential neighborhood, the very, very modern architecture, and the neoclassical sort of romantic architecture. So it's been an educational, interesting time for me, and I am going to head home. Actually, you can see right over there, see where it says parking? I'm gonna go get my car and drive to the airport. I'll see y'all later. I love you. Bye.